Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Greetings, friends, and welcome to Gothic Horror Gaming. Thank you so much for joining us tonight in this very spooky but warm night. Thank you again for supporting us even as we traveled across the country to get here. We took a very long detour on our way through some really wonderful places. We saw the Grand Canyon. We saw the Painted Desert. We saw a lot of really cool stuff. So thank you. Sorry we couldn't be here last week, but we're back, and we'll remind you of what we're doing, including... today, we would like to thank our sponsors. We will start out with a shout out to our friends at 3D2U, who are super awesome, wonderful friends of ours, friends of the channel as well. And they have a bunch of different things coming up. I know a lot of local, especially to New Jersey, they have a lot of local crafting events that they're going to be doing. 3d2u.org. You can definitely check them out online. They have game boxes, they have dice towers, they have notebooks. They've been developing a lot of new, really, really large scale mimics, like you see at the top corner. So definitely check out their merch. It's really, really awesome. Also, special shout out to Amy for providing me with some background information regarding some very specific questions involving this game and radiation. So thank you, Amy Reeder, for being a person who knows a lot about that kind of stuff, forensic scientist that you are. Yes, and apparently, according to Sir David Percival, they will be at the Contropolis in Secaucus this coming weekend, so please check them out. We would also love to thank Ren Adventures, which will be coming up in New Orleans. A bunch of them just took off to go to Scotland. So if there's anyone that's joining us potentially from Scotland, congratulations, have a wonderful time. But their next event that they have coming up is D&D in New Orleans. That's December 5th through 9th, 2023. It should be a lot of fun. The Gloom Master will be one of their dungeon masters. It's the Soft Autumn Ingenue, who you've seen a lot on this channel, if you are a subscriber to this channel. She will be there as well. There's a bunch of great Chase Treasure ladies that are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please, if you're interested, check it out. D&D in New Orleans, December 5th through 9th. And you can check out their information at renadventures.com. And I would be remiss if we didn't thank ourselves, which is real weird but fun. So you can feel free to check out our awesome book. It's called Dare. It's a collection of short fiction and poetry. We have it available on Amazon. You can listen to it on Audible as well. And we also have a physical book that you can get on Amazon, or you can get it on your Kindle. So any of those options are potentially valid. Feel free to check out the Nightbot drop there for the link to the official pages. I would also, thank you. Like to thank the organization behind Delta Green as well. They're a really, really wonderful company. Today's adventure is not one that I officially wrote. It is, I am running it based on the outline that was done by William Sharr. It's from the fairfieldproject.com fairfieldproject.fandom.com. And it is called Death is No Parenthesis. This is a really, really great game. I think it was written in 2017. That is a game available to check out. I would invite you to check it out once we're finished, and feel free to run it for your own players and your own campaigns. It is a ton of fun, super creepy, and every outcome is a little bit different. So definitely check it out if you get the chance. Boop. Speaking of, every time that comes up, it's Hand Lucy and I'm pregnant. Yes, I am having a baby in a couple of months. So we'll see how often I'll be able to officially come back onto the channel. But yeah, speaking of tonight's game, it is a Delta Green style game. I'll do that first. Delta Green is a gaming style based in D100, which reminds me I need to pull my dice out from somewhere. I think I know where they are. There they are. So D100 based, any skill that you have has a certain percentage of possibly working. So let's say you are a cop and you have a 40% chance to hit for a firearm. It's actually pretty good that most of the time, almost most of the time, 40% of the time, you will be able to make any attempts that you have at shooting a gun. Now, there's a couple other rules that go along with it. You are rolling your dice, D100, or, 2 10-sided die. 40 and below is a success. 41 and above is a failure. If you have a double digit under your target number, that's a critical success. If you have a double digit above your target number, that's a critical failure. The only time that you succeed on this channel at any given moment is if you roll a 69, because nice. So that is always a critical success on this particular gaming system. Here's how you guys can help at home. If any of you have any Twitch points that you would like to spend throughout the scenario, you can do that to help our players or potentially to hinder them. You can always offer your points to me. So every time you offer up your Twitch points, that is a 5 that they can take off of their dice result. So let's say our cop really needs to make this shot. So they're going to use a help. They roll a 43. Normally that would be a failure, but because of your help and they declare it in advance, they have to say, I'm using a help for this one. Because of your help, they declared it in advance. They get to take a -5 to that result. So now instead of it being a 43, it is a 38, and that is now officially a success. So they are able to make that shot. There's some other really cool mechanics in Delta Green as well, like called shots and things like that. Aim. You're allowed to aim, just in case my players are ever curious about that. You could take a whole turn and aim, and then you should have an improved success chance for being able to actually hit. But generally speaking, you guys are the most helpful part of this adventure. So if you've got any points, feel free to spend them, and our friend Sir David Percival will take an account of everyone is there. Where's Dana for the aim note? Yes. All right. Other things to note. This is a scary game. We have designed it to be a scary game. I took the notes from the original game and just made it worse. So please keep in mind that the following adventure will contain potentially, thank you. The following adventure may contain intense violence, adult substances, and illegal substances. Mexican drug trade, disturbing creatures, sometimes violence against minors, creatures of common phobias. We have had spider people. We have had violence against minors like children, and violence against minors like people who mine things. There has been a lot of different kinds of situations that come up on this channel. So if you are not interested in things like that, there are plenty of other wonderful things that happen on this channel that you can totally check out. Otherwise, feel free to stick around, but you have been warned. This is an adult game, and it will feature especially adult substances. Yes, Gothic horror gaming. The horror is the operative word here. Horror gaming. So let me try to bring you up to speed a little bit. These particular agents were called in from varying places throughout the globe, and they can tell you a little bit about that. But they have been called in to investigate a mysterious house, and in the process of doing so, they found multiple copies of the same person, dead, stuffed inside the walls. They have since been following that lead to try to investigate who this person was, whose walls these were, a bunch of other things. And now we've come around to, they're about to interrogate a person named User Friendly. They are a sex worker and a known drug mule for the Sinaloa cartel. The Sinaloa cartel is real. You can look them up. They are one of the largest drug cartels in Mexico. And they are a rival gang to a brand new gang that's just started to come up called Los Ecos, which Sir David Percival is mentioning in the chat as well. So that's where we're at the moment. And our players are given the ability to investigate and speak with this user-friendly person here very shortly. But I'd love to get their take on how they're feeling going into this and what's going on right now. So let's first bring in our FBI agent, Leah Anderson, and see how she's feeling about stuff while I wrestle my dice out.
I mean, listen, it's been what? It's even been 24 hours that we've been working on this, and it's just been crazy.
Yeah, today is officially, I believe, June 15th, which is that Juneteenth? Is June 15th? Is that correct? Okay.
So. All right.
So we started this game on June 14th. So yeah, officially it is Juneteenth. Congratulations.
Great. Yeah.
It's
wild. I don't know how user friendly already knew what we were coming in for. I'm a little perturbed by that, not gonna lie. Because Home Scalet really had us walk into the room, and he was like, "I know you're looking for Sinaloa, and then I can bring you to him," or whatever the thing he said. So that was like a lot. Was truly, I just think that we're gonna hopefully figure out as much information as we can. I am really, really interested in getting this all over with and taken care of, and then maybe Margs after we, figure all this out. We found a really good place the other day. I'm just saying.
This is now becoming a game mechanic. We've discussed off channel that maybe we're going to do a margarita count. So if anybody wants to do a margarita count in the background.
It's Marg count, baby.
Yeah. Thank you for the correction, Sir David Percival and Vivi and people in the chat. Yes, that is June 19th is Juneteenth. So we are just at June 15th. We are approaching that really wonderful and important holiday, especially considering we are setting this game in El Paso, Texas.
It's true.
So we are now on June 15th.
All right.
Hopefully you'll be able to wrap this up before Juneteenth. And
I think we can. Yeah, we've been going real fast so far. And I mean, they're going to demolish the house at some point. So, we don't got that much time. So, we'll see what happens.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you are thinking about in terms of investigation? Is there anything that you want specifically to ask of our drug mule?
I believe I'll remember that user-friendly had been known to be using the new drug Echo, right? Am I misremembering that?
Correct.
Okay. I'd love to ask him about effects of that, because the first thing he said, I'm like, oh, what's happening, homeboy? Would love to get some more information on that, and also, if I can find, the location of Sepulturero, that'd be great. Cut our workload basically in half, I think, but we try our best. I'm assuming it's going to be more difficult than that, but
probably. But it's a good start.
Yeah.
Why don't we bring in our medical consultant here, Dr. Winters, and you can kind of fill us in on some of the things that you've investigated and found out. Just remind our people watching what you found out of late.
So after doing an autopsy, we found that one of the many bodies of El Echo was radioactive, and there were these lumps growing within it. I've put one of them in a lead glove, which is in my medical kit right now. And many of these bodies have these lumps growing underneath their skin, and they're radioactive. So that's where we're at. And everyone keeps talking about margaritas so much, I'm ready to try one. I've never had one.
You never had a margarita?
That's surprising. Even as a person that you wouldn't have had a margarita before?
I was very professional.
True. You have completed your residency and whatnot.
I did, now I need a drink.
That's real boring, actually. Really boring.
Is.
Excellent. Margarita count 2. All right. And finally, we have our sort of, I wouldn't say drug expert, but our definitely person who knows a lot about transporting things back and forth across the border, Coyote Jones. So where are your thoughts right now before you guys are about to start this investigation?
Well, right now we've got ourselves one Echo who is dead, another Echo that's dead, a whole house full of dead Echoes, and now a fella that takes Echo. So, and he seems to be maybe psychic, maybe someone tipped him off, maybe there's a mole. But my job is to get people in and out, and I usually prefer to get people in and out of places alive. There are way too many dead bodies happening for my comfort level. I just want to get my team, find the end of this, hopefully solve this little Echo thing. We're going to go get some frozen margaritas, and I'm going to maybe have 4 or 5, enough to forget the fact that I was in a house where the walls were just full of bodies of the same man. Don't like it. Don't like
Absolutely.
it at all.
And I 3. I can't I can't wait to tell Sophanum Ingenue about this. It's just like, hey, while you were in the air going to Scotland, we had a margarita count going during our game. Yay. Yeah. So I'm going to do my best to do this as in real time as possible, but assume you've got like a couple of seconds right now. Is there anything that you want to discuss before you go in there? Is there any particular angles you're looking for, things to try to find out? And then I will start a timer once we officially, I will describe what they look like, and then you can go in.
Great.
I just want to find a connection between. He works for Sepulturero. He thinks we're there for Sepulturero. We've got to find a connection to El Echo through him.
Yeah, I think that's good. Through any of my previous work with the FBI, would I have personally encountered this person before, or is this like a different division?
Because a lot of the stuff that he's been dealing with is potentially some of the newer street drugs. You might not have dealt with him, but you would know that he's a known informant. He is a mule, specifically for Sinaloa. Okay. The fact that I think Handler Zeitlin mentioned that he got picked up and was in possession of the Echo substance, which also goes by the name Contravita. Take that for what you will. That maybe things are changing for him. But mostly, Leah, you've been dealing with more of like the traditional street drugs. Like you're trying to bust giant cocaine rings. So
cool.
Wouldn't necessarily deal with this guy. Anything else?
No, let's start there. Let's see what he's got.
Let's do it.
So yeah, Handler Zeitlin was the last person to talk to you, and then he opens the door. What you see in front of you is a sickly looking man, probably in his, it's hard to tell. You would have suspected based on some of the clothes that he's wearing, he's probably in his early 30s. He's got like kind of a skater look to him. He's got scraggly blonde hair, kind of looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but a really strung out Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And it's ironic that I named him Fred Jones is his real name. But yes, he has like a band t-shirt on. It's got stains all over it. He has baggy jeans. He's got a spaced out sort of look. In his hand, he has a tissue that he keeps constantly dabbing his nose with. It looks like he's been having a nosebleed off and on for a while.
All right.
The first thing he says when you walk into the room, kind of spacey, is, "You're looking for Sepulturero. I can take you to him." And we start the timer now.
Who says we're looking for Sepulturero?
You've got that look about you. And anybody who brings me in knows I'm connected to him. So if you're here for that, tell me. Otherwise, I don't know what else I need to tell you.
Well, you can start by telling us about Echo. Where'd you get it from?
Oh, you mean the drug, yeah? The substance, yeah.
The new one, yeah.
I've been using it for a while, and I've been really, it's been interesting. It opens your mind to so many possibilities. You'd be amazed at some of the things you can see when you're on it. Different dimensions, different worlds. It's amazing. And then, you come back down to Earth, and it just doesn't feel right, So, I got it. I got connections. I'm not going to spoil your fun here, but I got connections. And I was only popped for having enough that I had. There's no intent to sell here.
Oh, what? We didn't think you would, Like, listen, I've heard about you before. We know what you're about. Yeah, interesting. So you saw like other dimensions and stuff? That sounds like a lot. Doesn't sound like the normal stuff. So you just trying out something new, or did somebody get in your normal supply? What happened there?
I'm exploring new possibilities. I've been
Oh,
working for Sepulturero for a long time. I've been working for
okay.
Sinaloa for a while, and I
Yeah.
just
How's
don't
that
know
going?
that
Going okay? Yeah.
I don't. Maybe time has run out. Maybe
Oh,
I should
okay.
start looking somewhere else.
Looking
Yeah.
at your nose there, looks like your time might be running out there. You all right?
I'll pause it for a second. I will let you guys know that not only is his nose running, but the more that you observe him, Dr. Winters, you in particular, he's got classic signs of radiation sickness. Like he hasn't gotten like lumps all over him, but he's starting to get like there are weird sores on his arms. He's probably sweating profusely, and some of these could potentially be for other kinds of substances, but based on what you guys know now about this substance, he is probably suffering from radiation sickness. Continuing.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, we're just here to talk. But we don't. It seems that we don't have too much time, and the thing is, I'd like to help get you out of here as fast as you'd like to get out of here. Really, we're just trying to find. Echo doesn't seem like it's all that safe. For general populations, and I know you have no intent to sell, but I'd love to. Maybe do a little bit of testing of it myself, just make sure it's not going to, destroy everything here.
Sure. I mean, if you need to mess around with it, I guess the guy out there, he has our stuff.
Sure. I was looking more of a
all I had on me. I don't have anything else.
I believe you. I believe you. But I'd love to know who you got it from. I know you don't want to give up your sources, but also not going to get you in trouble. Not more than you already are.
All right. Between you and me, I haven't been working for Echo directly, but I know where they've been working out of, and they've been trying to recruit me by giving me really good stuff. Parts of the gang, they kind of know that they might know that I'm here, and I'm a little worried. So I'm hoping that maybe if you spring me and they let me go back to Sepulturero, then maybe I can help him, and things will get better, and I won't have all these issues.
All right.
User friendly.
Coyote's taking 3 steps back.
Sure.
That's fair.
I'm also maintaining a distance, but trying to, just so you know, we've noticed there are very bad side effects to Echo, and it looks like you have them right now. So what we are going to try to arrange for you is medical treatment, because you are not doing well. I'm sure you can tell. So any
I've got like parts of my skin keep falling off, and I don't know what to do about that. But I mean, I don't like hospitals, but
listen.
Nobody
He does. No one does. He works in one.
I work in one, and I don't even like them.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah, about those Echo gang members, though, I'd love to hear more. Like where they're working out of. Again, we're just trying to help you out here.
Most of them are across the border. They come back every once in a while. I don't know where their base is. They've never taken me there.
Okay.
Sepulturero would know, because he's targeted them before, they've targeted him, and it's a whole back and forth thing.
I'm sure, yeah. Well, I mean, you said you knew where Sepulturero is, and I'd love to hear that then too.
Sure. I got a phone call from him a while ago, and he told me to meet him at the bar. Okay. Once I got out, hopefully I get out soon. It's the stupidest name, but it's called Funkmeyer's Rec Room.
That's incredible.
It's a good place, and it is. It's just outside of El Paso. It's close to the border.
Okay. All right.
We're supposed to meet up there.
Okay.
And there are people there that are on the take with the group. So
All
you
right,
can just
all
tell
right.
them that you're there to see them.
Okay. All right. Are they gonna have an issue? Because I am a Fed.
I don't know. Um,
It's a joke. Don't worry about it. It's
I
okay.
can. Yeah.
All right. It's all right. We're gonna try. We're gonna try and help you out. Okay.
I'm pausing for a second. Everybody roll me some kind of observation roll. For most of you, I believe that would be, this stupid thing keeps going the wrong direction. Probably either alertness, or you could try, yeah, it's probably alertness, unless you have something else that you think might work. Mitch, if you wanted to, sorry, Dr. Winters, if you wanted to try your psychotherapy, something like that.
I'm going to use psychotherapy.
Yeah.
Could
I have an 80 and I rolled a 10.
Ooh, great.
Yeah.
For you.
Could I do human intelligence if it's more of an observing him thing?
Yeah, you can do that.
Great. Okay.
Coyote, what are you planning on using?
57 out of 60 for alertness. So,
Great. Okay.
Yes,
Excellent.
I got a 10 out of 60 for human intelligence.
Yay. Okay. So we'll go around to that. So human intelligence. Leah, you notice that he's becoming more agitated.
Okay.
Anxious. His eyes are darting around the room. It's like he's looking for something. You guys are in an enclosed room.
Mm-hmm.
So his eyes are just all over the place, looking for everything. Dr. Winters, you notice it looks like his tics are starting to increase. He's losing focus. So what he's been telling you is probably, based on your information and based on your psychology, still accurate. He's being truthful, but he's starting to lose the point of the situation of what's going on. And Coyote, with your alertness, it feels, you can't quite put your finger on it, but it feels different in this room right now. Something has altered. It's like the atmosphere feels different. It's not like the air conditioning kicked on or anything. It just feels wrong.
Curiosity question. And over in a.
Yeah, we're in a pause right now, so I'll restart it.
Would I have been able to bring any of my weapons in, or since I am not official there?
Not a cop, not an active investigation, and even Leah, who works at the FBI, you would not be bringing your duty weapon into an interrogation room. You probably have it outside.
That's fair. Oh no.
I'm gonna put my hand on Leah's shoulder and be like, I think we need to get out of here.
All right.
All right. You guys ready to kick back on?
Yep.
Let's do it.
You have approximately 3.5 minutes. Starting.
My spider senses are tingling here. We need to leave. Right.
Okay. Now. Any last questions from any three of us, or we got what we needed? Or
I think we have everything we need.
okay,
all right,
great.
Wait, but what about what I need?
What do you need, hon?
Are you going to help me? Are you going to get me out of here? Do I get to go back? I could take you to Sepulturero if you let me. I would. I can figure out, I can go there myself. I could text them if you wanted. They have my phone. I don't know.
User-friendly. What you are experiencing right now are the very bad stages of what you've been taking, and medical treatment is what you need more than anything else right now. Are you having trouble focusing?
Yeah, I'm a little dizzy, I guess. I had some before I came here, and most of it's worn off, but it just feels weird.
Yeah, which you like looking for something. You look, what you see in there, friendo?
I don't know. Sometimes I see things.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes if I take too much, I see things from the room, little weird things coming out of the side. When you look too fast and you think that you see something there, but then you turn around and it's not there, and it just feels wrong.
All right, cool.
You see anything in the room right now?
There's something in the room.
I can't tell. Sometimes I'm not sure. It's
All right.
when I see it, it looks dark.
Okay. All
Just
right.
dark.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, we're gonna try and we gotta go talk to our boss, and then we're gonna try and get you the help you need. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll try to make something happen for you. Okay. But we appreciate everything you've told us today, and you're gonna be okay, right?
All right. You get me my phone. I can contact them directly if you need me to.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. And I get out of there. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Is there a viewing, like a camera reviewing thing
851.
Nice.
into that room?
Yeah, that's been maybe they didn't turn the recording on, but yeah, there's an observation room on the outside. It's like a standard police office type thing.
Cody would like to go into the observation side of the room. I just want to watch him to see what he's doing, because this feels
Bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Is
think
that
that's a
do
great
all
idea.
of you want to do that, or does anybody else have a different
Yeah.
trajectory?
Nope.
I would love to observe him for the remainder of our time.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, you are able to exit the room and shut the door. He's getting more and more agitated. Yeah, as you continue to observe him for the next couple of minutes, he's not freaking out. He's not like standing up or anything, but he's just kind of like rocking. Dr. Winters, you would potentially observe this as like a psychotic break sort of situation. That's what it looks like.
Doctor, do we need to sedate him?
Should we?
I'm not certain sedating him is going to do anything.
Oh, cool.
In a situation like this, this is radiation sickness, but this is more than that. This is a psychotic episode.
Okay.
And we need to keep that door locked. We need to keep him in there, or we need to transfer him to a medical facility strapped down. But we also have to do radiation protocols. There's a lot of things in play right now.
All right.
Well, he said he could contact them with his phone. Do we
That
need
is-
him to do that, or can we get into his phone without him? Because based on his sketchy behavior here, I don't know that he's going to know what his own name is in another few minutes, let alone how to
Yeah.
dial something.
I mean, listen, I think, well, what would the laws be around that if we had his phone in custody? Could we go into his phone without his permission? I don't know if we can.
You could probably try to pull some strings and see if you could just get it unlocked.
Okay.
He is a known felon. He was arrested, not with intent to sell, but he did have possession. So there's potential you could try to, especially with your this would potentially be your, what do you call it, bureaucracy. You could
Yeah.
try to get
Good
around it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Gluebaster in the background says you need a warrant. Technically.
I mean, listen. Listen, we don't have that much time, but I'm sure we could probably try to, just pop into his phone a little bit, and see what we can do. If they, haven't already done it, we do need a warrant, but I think in this case, if it's going to lead us to one of the big players, I don't think it'd be necessarily a bad thing, although they can't really, Boys in Blue can't really know exactly what we're doing, so...
Right.
Do you two want to handle that, and I'll handle radiation protocols with what's going on?
Sure. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's a good plan.
It's a little outside my wheelhouse.
That's fair. All right.
As the three of you are about to potentially move on to different things and leave the room, you hear a ear-piercing scream. And when you go to look back into the room, User Friendly has pushed himself up against the wall as far as he can, and in a corner of the room that you can't entirely see, something strange and black is starting to emerge from the It kind of resembles a cat. It kind of resembles a dog. It kind of resembles a cougar. It kind of resembles a lion. It is a quadrupedal creature made of many different angles and smoke, and it leaps from the corner of the room and rends him to pieces. You are watching through this glass as this thing rips him apart and basically starts to swallow him whole. And the more you try to look at the creature, the more it changes shape, the more it changes its form and its creation. It sometimes looks like it has many mouths. Sometimes it looks like it has one mouth. Sometimes it looks like it's only a mouth. And as that happens over the next 30 seconds, eventually all that is left in the room is just a sort of smeared blood stain on the table. And then everything's gone.
Including our big puppy?
Yes.
Great.
And I need everybody to roll your sanity. This would be potentially, I think it's 1d6 for helplessness. This is watching someone who is a potential friend or asset getting destroyed in front of you.
Cool. I failed.
Sanity. See, I'm at 48 and I just rolled a 51.
Okay.
Oh.
So that is a failure, yes?
That is a failure, yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that that's correct, because I thought you had more than that, but maybe you don't.
I lost 2 at the last one.
That's right. Okay. I was like, I thought
Yep.
you had more. Nope, I'm wrong. Okay. Dr. Winters.
Oh yeah, I failed.
Okay, great.
Oh yeah.
All right, D6. Everyone take 3 points of damage.
Woo!
3 points of sanity damage as you watched an asset get rent into pieces. Leah, you are feeling particularly bad because the last thing you said to this guy when you left was that he was going to be fine and everything would be okay. Coyote, your instincts had kicked in beautifully, but unfortunately, you underestimated what was going on. Dr. Winters, same for you. You thought that this was a patient suffering a psychotic break, and you were like, okay, we need to keep ourselves safe, but he's a danger to himself and others. You never would have anticipated that something would have come out of the wall and eaten him. Welcome, Raiders.
Hi.
You've just encountered the extreme aftermath of a friendly asset being eaten alive in front of all of our players. It is a horror game. Thank you for joining us for Gothic Horror Gaming. This is a game called Death is No Parenthesis, and today is all eyes on me. So yeah.
Well,
Woo, baby.
I don't think we can get him to unlock his phone anymore.
I don't think we can either.
Did we
We
get video or anything of that, or did we all just have a really bad margarita?
As far as you are aware, they probably turned the cameras off when you walked into the room because you are not on the books. That's why Handler Zeitlin was giving you 10 minutes.
All right.
Yep.
So we should probably go find Handler Zeitlin first.
Mm-hmm.
And then we try to get the phone, and then I guess we go talk to Sepulturero if we can.
Someone might want to be notified that there's a mess in.
We're gonna go talk to the boss, and the boss is gonna figure it out. Not my pay grade. Okay.
Yeah. Once you guys walk out of the room, once you guys walk out of the room, yeah, you are able to find Handler Zeitlin. He's not far, and he's concerned. Are you guys gonna try to cover this up at all, or are you just gonna tell him what happened?
I'd like to pull him into a room privately and be like, "Hey, buddy. Hey, guess what?" didn't go well.
Okay.
Um,
That's your intention, is to try to just tell him what happened?
yeah.
Yep.
Great.
There's no making up a lie around that.
We didn't do anything, actually. The cameras were not. Handler's Island.
Yes,
Can I
okay.
talk to you in this private room right now where no one else can hear?
Yeah, step into my
Great.
office. What happened?
Okay,
I heard
great.
it
So
scream.
close the door, slam. So fun fact. So we just thought this guy was tripping out real bad. And then he got eaten by a dog in the interrogation room.
A dog? How did a dog
It
get
was
in?
like a big spooky fucking friggin' dog. Pardon my French.
Adult content.
And I don't know exactly what I saw. It had a bunch of eyes and a bunch of mouths, and then it didn't. And there's a thing. And at least we figured out where we think Sepulturera is gonna go, but I don't know what's happening.
What do you mean that a dog attacked? Is he okay? Do we
No,
need medical?
he's dead.
He's dead?
Yeah, he's not. He's
My
like
acid is dead?
He's like on the floor. It's like ground in there. It's real bad.
Oh my god. Okay. Stay here. I'll see what I can do.
Can we get his phone too, though?
Yeah, it's in the desk drawer. Good
Great,
luck.
thank you. I'm gonna go
he
through the
walks
desk
out.
drawer. Great.
From the closed door, you hear a commotion going on. A lot of people shouting, a lot of someone is throwing up in the hallway. There is a lot of concerning noises going on. Things might get intense real fast, but you are currently alone in a room with the phone. And his other personal effects. So
Great.
not the drugs; those were confiscated. But he does have it's all in a box. It's his wallet, his keys. He had a knife on him, probably a straw, like a metal straw, and his cell phone is there.
Great. I'm gonna try and get into his cell phone. I don't know what he has. Is there a password?
It's a standard iPhone. Does
Great.
anyone have any kind of computer science? This would be where that kind of thing comes in.
Negativo.
Nope.
Would it perhaps? Could I use my forensic skills or criminology skills?
I will let you attempt forensics
Great.
based on things that you've done in the past. It's not going to be easy to get into, so good
Great.
luck.
I would
That
love.
helps.
I'd love to use a help. Cause we. Oh man. Oh me. Oh my. Right. That is actually a 45 out of 50.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
thank you, help.
Okay. Yeah, you roll through a couple of random sort of number sequences and things. And funny enough, you just think to yourself, and you use the password Scooby and officially unlock his phone.
Oh, amazing. Great. Cool. I would like to go through like his text messages and see if there's a thread that's obviously Sepulturero.
Yeah, this is a known drug dealer, and not drug dealer, drug user, drug mule. So he's used to passing things across borders, etc. And he is a sex worker. So a lot of the stuff that you're finding is between him and other potential Johns, people who are investigating him or soliciting him.
Great.
You do see a couple of messages in Spanish. One of you reads Spanish, don't they?
I read a little bit of Spanish. I would
Okay.
say that I'm passable in conversation, but I'm definitely not fluent.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, you have 40%. Based on your 40, he's got some messages in Spanish that are clearly not related to his sex trafficking. and it is not related to any of the other work that he's doing. There's nothing that stands out as saying like Sepulturero, but it does have. Yes, thank you, Phoebe.
Oh no!
Why is everybody in love with the demon? This is great. Thank you. I'm so
perfect.
glad. You guys
Oh
don't even
my.
know
Oh
the
my.
stats this thing had.
Oh no!
Anyway, you do see a message in Spanish that eventually catches your attention, which mentions that bar. It is called Funkmeyer's Rec Room. This is a real place.
I love this.
I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Great.
I think that's correct. Funkmeyer's Rec Room. Yep. Yeah, so it does mention that. And a meeting. It looks like the conversation was going, I can't meet you yet. I'll let you know when.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the group. Are we ready to go? Just like meet now? Do we want to grab anything? Listen. I'm still reeling from that dog thing. Should we just go? Should we just text him and go? Because I think I found it where this is all going here. And I
Well,
think
he said if we just showed up and said we're with him, they'll know. So I say, let's go. Don't worry about a text right now, because if they ask a question that we don't have an answer to, that's going to look real suspicious. And he's not in a position to cover for us anymore.
that is true. I do just want to make sure he's actually there, though. So I don't know. Maybe we call the number, prank call it. I don't know, from a different phone. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, I figure we take user-friendly stuff too. I don't just cause I don't know.
Well, given that he is
Deceased
right now,
staying on the floor.
I think us walking out with a box full of all his belongings might look bad on us.
Okay, but here's the intention here. What if we take at least one of his belongings to be like, hey, we were sent by him. Also, this thing, peace offering. I know y'all probably didn't know each other all that well, but like, just want to talk.
Take the phone. We'll give it back.
We'll take the phone.
later.
Okay.
We'll leave the
Great.
rest.
Cool. I don't want to drive. Anybody else want to drive?
I'll drive.
Great.
Are the three of you in the same car? Because I don't remember if that was a thing. Did you all come in? I thought you came in separate vehicles.
We did come in separate vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will as you exit the office, Zeitlin is still talking through a bunch of stuff, arguing. There's a lot of shouting going on. Now is your time to escape. I would love for everyone to try to roll me either a stealth, or if you have something else that you think would work in favor of that. Leah, in particular, you have persuade potentially, or bureaucracy. You would know more than anyone what the FBI office is like. You could certainly be able to be like, oh, I know where the back stairs are, or oh, I know where how to make it look like we're doing something else instead.
Great. I would probably like to use persuade.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how I would do that.
The other thing you do have to keep in mind is that chances are, at least Leah, depending on what the rest of you guys have done, you have dropped off the weapons that you were carrying with you, probably at the front desk. Maybe not necessarily in Zeitlin's office, but probably at the front desk you had to check your weapons in. So if you want to get those back, Leah, that might be where your persuade or your bureaucracy comes in.
Great. I think that would be it. Is I'd like to just be like, hey, can I have this back because I gotta go? Because this isn't my main office, right? I work at the other office mostly.
Yeah, you work at a different office.
Great. I'm gonna roll first, and we'll see how well that works.
Okay.
That didn't work at all, actually. Fun fact. Okay. I think I would try to spin a tale of like, oh, I'm so sorry, can't grab my weapons. Like, I gotta go to the other office. They just gave me a call. Ha ha ha. Work, Huh.
Okay. So that's that one. Coyote, what are you attempting to do?
I am gonna stealth out of there. My dice are getting real 69 out of 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a
Great.
critical success no matter what.
But I'm just
Nice.
like dice. Y'all are towing a line tonight.
That's brilliant. All right. I can deal with that in a minute. Dr. Winters, what is your plan?
I am talking my way out of there. I am stating that I am going to get medical assistance and set up. I'm playing dumb. I'm saying, and I'm using persuade.
Okay. Try your persuade.
I got an 8
Nice.
out of 60.
All right.
Great. Okay. All right. I'll deal with Leah first. So Leah, you head back downstairs and you are talking to the duty officer up front. And they're like, man, I heard the commotion. What's going on? And you were trying to persuade them to give you back your weapons because you got a different call. They are so distracted by what's going on that they are unable to unlock what they have the weapons sealed in. Dr. Winters, on the other hand, is much more convincing.
Okay.
And he is able to, Dr. Winters is able to convince that same person of like, oh yeah, there's a medical emergency. I just need supplies or something, or I'm going to go get help. And they're like, oh, okay, great. So the two of you can leave out the front door. You will not be able to collect your weapons, but you can leave out the front door.
Great.
Coyote, you on the other hand have found a back stairwell that people usually don't use. And you are able to just slink your way out to the parking lot. And you are in the car before the other two even walk out the front door.
How'd you? Okay, you did that. All right, good for you. All right.
Howdy.
They didn't let me take my weapons, so can I just like stop by my car before we all go, or
Yeah, grab what you
you
need.
got something I could borrow? I don't know.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
I will say, if you leave your cars here, there is no guarantee that you would be able to get back to them, especially as things are starting to move kind of quickly. So,
All right. Well,
come up with a plan. I'll give you a couple seconds to come up with a plan. No one's come outside yet. They didn't even
Right.
notice Coyote, and you two just walked out in front of somebody.
Great.
So they're not focused on you right now.
well, okay. Maybe I should take my car since we said we were doing separate things. I'll take my car. It's fine.
I'm going to follow the two of you in mine.
Great. Okay.
All right,
Cool.
let's meet up at the rec room.
All right. Let's go.
I'm gonna take a moment before before we pull off, go to the trunk, get my tactical body armor, and strap that on. There will be no more surprises today. And then I will drive.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are able to, at the very least, get out of the FBI office cleanly. No one's following you. No one's tracking you at the moment. At least not from the FBI office. So, yeah, you are able to make your way out. So I wish I'd have to screenshot this and share it with you. If anybody wants to take a chance to look this up, it's a real place. You can find it Funk Myers Rec Room. It is in 1506 Lee Trevino Drive in El Paso, Texas. It is a real place. You can feel free to look up. They look like they have great drink specials, honestly.
Do they have margaritas?
I was just about to look. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up my
Happy
website
hour or
and see what
something?
happens.
Great.
Open today from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Oh, amazing. Let's
They
go.
accept debit cards. I don't see there's bar games. Sometimes there's a
Ooh.
trivia night.
Ooh.
I don't see what they're doing as of today.
There is a highlights for great cocktails. So
Ooh.
if they're in Texas and don't make margaritas, then we're burning this place down.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the Delta Green stuff right there.
Here we go.
Great. Awesome. So yeah, you guys are able to start heading over there. And you can probably all arrive around the same time. Now,
I
you
will
do have the
also,
opportunity right now. Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm also going to text Zeitlin just to let him know where we're headed, just so he's in the loop.
Yeah, you text Zeitlin that he responds almost immediately, don't talk to me.
It wasn't our fault. Okay.
I mean, I feel that.
That's fair.
That's
valid.
You three were the last people in a room with a suspect who then ended up a bloody stain on a table. So
I mean, what does he
whether
think
or not
we
you
did with it?
it wasn't your fault is an entirely different situation than what you're dealing with right now.
All right, well, I guess that means leash is off.
So before you guys get to this bar, knowing that you have now lost a weapon,
Yep.
whatever you would have carried in, I think you guys were all carrying handguns.
Yeah.
Dr. Winters, I don't know if you had one. That is
Sure
the
did.
question. You did? Okay.
Yep.
So it would have probably just been those standard weapons would have been what you don't have. Coyote, I know you have an arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're probably fine.
Frozen margaritas.
Yeah, Leah, you also still have a combat dagger. You have brass knuckles. This probably would have been the 22. That would have been
Okay.
a standard issue weapon that you have, but you would still potentially have your backup weapon.
Okay.
And then Dr. Winters, I don't know if you have anything right now. Well, you have stuff. You have your medical stuff. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to look at what you had. Boop. That's
And
it.
I have a Kevlar vest in case of emergencies.
You do. You still have your knife, but they would have taken your pistol.
Yep.
If there's anything that you guys want to try to, I'm not gonna let you go gun shopping. I know it's Texas, but I'm not gonna let you go gun shopping right now. Leah fell out of frame. That was that wild. But if there's anything that you feel you will reasonably be able to pick up from your personal residences before you head to this location, you are welcome to try to do so.
I've got what I need.
Yeah, I feel pretty solid with the stuff I have remaining. So, you know.
I feel solid with the two of you beside me.
Famous
That's
last words.
Right. Okay. Then yeah, in the early evening, probably somewhere around 8 or 9 p.m., as the sun is slowly setting in the blistering heat of Texas. We just drove through there. It was 114 degrees. It was great.
Gross.
That was in Amarillo too. That wasn't even on in El Paso. So goodness knows right at the Mexican border how hot it might be. Feel free to look that up on if anybody wants the comments wants to look it up online, they feel free to do so. But yeah, you are relatively easily able to make your way to this bar. It is a happening night spot. There's a ton of people there. It's already pretty crowded. It, you know what? It's margarita night. Why not?
Yeah.
So,
Happy hour, baby.
yeah. I think happy hour is probably over, but if you wanted to get margaritas, there we go. Thank you, Sir David Percival. 101 in El Paso, Texas. Right
Gross.
now. Which would be right around the time that you guys are heading to this bar. So yeah, if you you're able to get in. I just unplugged my computer accidentally. Hang on.
Hold, please.
There we go.
There we go.
Bing. Yeah, you're able to make it in, and now it's just a matter of finding who you think you're supposed to talk to.
Great.
Leah, your profiling instincts are everybody here looks like they're potentially from the area. They may be of Hispanic origin. They may be, it could be anybody.
Great.
Coyote, you're getting the same feel. It feels like there's probably some drug dealers here. There's probably some cartel members here. But there's no one standing out. There's no one that's like real obvious. Dr. Winters, yeah, you're probably getting the same from like your psychology that there's no one standing out right now. At least no one visible in the immediate vicinity. So What do you want to do?
I think if I also may, before we would have walked in, I would like to make sure that I don't obviously look like a Fed as much as possible. I feel like my plan would be maybe to just like pick a place that has good visibility of like the main area and like sit at the bar for a little bit and just kind of watch and see if there's anything that eventually catches my eye. I don't want to do this for like the whole night, but maybe for like, I don't know, up to like an hour or so.
Sure.
Great.
Coyote, do you have a particular plan? Anything that you want to do heading in?
Coyote's gonna looking at the photos of the place. There's several arcade games in the corner. Coyote's gonna post up near one, and then he's gonna just scan the crowd. He is gonna gamble here. He is very visibly wearing his body armor. He wants to see if anybody looks nervous that
You're
there's
going to the opposite. Okay.
but there's somebody like opposite the bar, kind of just scanning the crowd. See who looks a little twitchy about it.
Okay. We'll see how that goes. Dr. Winters, do you have a particular plan?
I think before I went in, I definitely tried to make myself look a little more casual. That and it's
Taking
hot in
off your
this room,
tie.
I'm ditching my tie.
Ties off now. We're in it.
I'm probably just gonna sit on the other end of the bar from Leah, just so we get a better view of everyone. I'm gonna order myself a margarita.
Me
and
too.
observe-
I don't know if I count this as multiple margaritas or not.
It counts.
It counts.
Okay, at least one. At least
Yeah,
one.
I think I didn't say it, so I just said me too.
Okay, we'll say that the
So-
margarita count is now. I will put that in chat because I
Great.
stepped away for a minute.
It's really important to the game mechanics, actually.
Margarita count is up by one. Okay, good.
Great.
Okay. So over the next hour, you guys are kind of observing. Why don't you all three roll me an alertness roll, unless you might want to try a different kind of skill. Alertness is probably the base version of what you would need here of just observing the crowd.
I got a 3 for alertness, which means I succeed.
Yay,
31
good for you.
alertness, so I succeed as well.
Nice.
I got a 40, which means I did not.
Ah!
Okay.
My first margarita.
Your first Is it true? Oh, we're up by 2 now. Okay. Cool. So yeah, Dr. Winters, this is your first margarita, and it is awesome. You get a prickly pear margarita. They're real tasty, and they're very specific to the area. So it's like, wow, so good. Just perfectly made, really nice, tasty. Bartender is paying attention to you, and it's like, really, it seems like you're having a great time. Is excited to. You are casual, but it's still clear that you're a doctor with a salary. So they want to make sure that you are well taken care of. You do not necessarily fit the entire demographic of this bar. It's not like it's super, super low class, but you are definitely above the pay grade of a lot of the people that are here. Leah, so you were observing for a while. Pretty standard restaurant type stuff. It doesn't look like any of the patrons are involved in anything weird. You do see a number of the staff who are coming out and potentially serving drinks or potentially serving, nachos, standard bar fare, particularly in this area. So a lot of Tex-Mex, a lot of Spanish stuff. You see, it seems like there's an inordinate amount of people either not behind the bar, but like when the door swings open, you see a bunch of people back in the kitchen, and it seems like more people than would necessarily be needed for the kitchen.
Interesting.
So it seems like there's extra folks back there. Coyote, you also rolled alertness, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all three of you did the right thing. Cool. The right thing. The same thing. So because you were being a bit more brazen about it, you see kind of the similar thing to what Leah is seeing, where there seems to be some extra kitchen staff back there that aren't necessarily doing anything. And there's at least one guy in particular that is looking out from the door every once in a while. He's been posted up, at least for the last 15 minutes, he's been posted up in the door leading into the kitchen. He's probably mid-20s, still dressed in kind of the same sort of waitstaffy standard situation. So he's wearing like all black, black t-shirt, black pants, comfortable black shoes. But he's been very observant of you specifically the last 15 minutes over this hour-long observation that you guys have taken.
Excellent. All right.
Our market breed account is now at 7.
Coyote's going to do what Coyote does best.
Okay.
We are going to walk straight to the kitchen. And
Ooh.
we are just going to kick the door.
This is where we get the Delta Green stuff coming in. This is a very, well, we're about to find out what happens.
Oh no.
Is there anything that you want to use to your advantage in this situation? You've got a bunch of skills here.
I do.
I mean, athletics would allow you to kick open the door, but other than that, I mean, your guy is a what you call it? Used to be a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
You have really good unarmed combat. You can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So, what skill do you think you'd like to try here?
I am just gonna straight kick the door to see who runs, because they're the one I'm running down first.
Oh no.
All right.
So that's gonna be.
I would say roll me some kind of athletics skill. So you can either use just your straight up athletics, which you have a 60% in.
23 out of 60 for athletics.
Okay, great. Yeah, you approach that door and kick it open. A bunch of the kitchen staff just freezes, like, what the hell? That kid who was observing you, and as a kid, I mean, like mid-20s. Very clever, Sir David. That kid that was observing you bolts, just runs out the back door.
I'm running after him.
Okay. Leah, you were being particularly observant. You see Coyote kick the door open. Are you going to do? I love that. And I'm hearing it in Vivi's voice too, in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Which, for anyone who's unfamiliar, in the previous episode, I kind of likened. I named a character Vivi, and then they just talked real fast. It was great.
I feel like I'm seeing this happen, and I have two trains of thought.
Yep.
One train is like, well, if I just continue sitting here, they don't know we're together.
True.
So Coyote can take care of his business, and if we lose the mark, we lose the mark this time. On the other hand, I don't want Coyote to get his butt handed to him. Not that I think it would happen, because of course he's a strong, independent man. He's doing his best. But I want to find this guy. So I think oh Coyote.
Whatever you want to do, Leah.
I think I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna text Dr. Winters over at the end of the bar and be like, hey, Coyote just went into the kitchen where I think there was some important things going on. Including someone who's, I don't think I clocked that. Like, there's a lot of people in the kitchen. Coyote just went in foot to door.
Yes.
I'm going to sit here and wait and see if things go back to normal. I'm not sure what's happening. We should probably collect him at some point.
Yep.
Dr. Winters gets a bank of text messages. Just like, here's what's going
Wall
on.
of text, and they're all individual sentences. What the
Exactly.
hell?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Brilliant.
Well, right.
Cool. And
Let's
then I'm gonna
wait here.
text. Did you get the marg though?
No.
What? No, the
Boo.
margarita.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Prickly pear. Yes, I did.
And then it's just gonna be ooh hard eyes emoji, and then that's it.
Great. Okay. So the two of you are staying in the bar.
Yes.
Coyote, you are now pursuing a young potential assailant who has run out the back door. So yeah, you already did an athletics to pursue him, so I will give you the advantage of you pursuing him out the back door. He just starts running in between cars. I can either have you roll another athletics check to see if you can catch up to him, or if there is another skill that you would like to attempt to use, you're welcome to do so. You do have a lot of unique skills in this regard. I wouldn't recommend like shooting him, but other than that, there's a lot of things that you could
I want him
potentially
alive.
rely on.
Who knows?
What?
Dishwasher, man.
This poor
I'm
kid's
gonna,
trying to make a living.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
not Coyote.
see
Ah.
if I can. Let's try to use my navigate skill to see, instead of running right after, if I can kind of like figure out a good way to cut him off at the pass.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that. I will happily let you do that.
That is a
Got it now.
16 out of 50.
Okay, great. Yeah. So yeah, you see him haphazardly running through a whole bunch of cars in the back parking lot. You can see from here that there's a chain link fence that's about to cut him off, but off to your right is where the opening in the fence is that leads through out into the street. And you are able to just turn faster and run straight to the entrance. And you catch him right there, and he stops right in front of you, and he puts his hands up, and he starts speaking in Spanish, like, I don't have a problem here. There's nothing going on. Nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. I don't, what are you doing?
I would like.
You can catch all of that. You know enough in Spanish.
I think I would like to grab him and like throw him up against the wall and say in Spanish, I really don't like when people just stare at me. What's your deal?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, you are more than capable of doing that with your skills. With your strength, he's very slight. You are able to just throw him up against the chain link fence.
Oh my.
Great God. Yeah, you are able to throw him up against the chain link fence, and he's like, I work here. I just work here. I'm here to work. I'm making money for my family.
Okay. Yep. Coyote's gonna lean in real close and say, all right. Option number one, you tell me, what's his name again? You tell me where to find
Sepulturero is the guy who's running the local cartel, and then El Echo is his rival.
You tell me where to find Sepulturero's people if you're not one of them, and you walk away. Option two, those look like mighty thin fingers. We start counting down until I get information I need. It has been a day, and I'm not in the mood. What's it gonna be?
Ooh, I'm curious. What? Okay, obviously you can do Spanish. That's fine. It's like an intimidation, but I don't know. I would say you can attempt maybe a charisma for that to intimidate him. You are an intimidating figure,
Yeah.
and you do have helps as well. But yeah, I would say if you are
Yeah, let me use the help. I'm gonna feel real bad if I fail this. All right, so that is an 8.
yeah, okay, yeah, that you are a much bigger person than him. He is clearly unnerved by that. You feel him like stiffen the second you start like talking about breaking his fingers. He's like, all right, and he's saying this all in Spanish. Yes, I know where Sepulturero is. I can get you to him. I'm one of his runners.
Good boy. What do we need to make that happen? As I like hold with like his pinky finger, just not too tight, but just enough.
Yeah. I was gonna have you like roll for violence against minors, but no. We just do that sometimes. Blue Master in the background coming out with some zingers. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is a horror game. We do not condone violence. It's just a expression of what's going on in a very specific situation. Keep in mind that we did rip apart a drug user earlier with a dog. So yes, totally within keeping of the show. Anyway, yeah, he says I can get in contact with him. You can't see him with weapons. I can arrange a pickup.
Make that happen quickly.
Okay.
No, let him down.
Yeah. And the second you put him down, he turns around and looks you in the eyes and he's like, yeah. And then he whips out a cell phone and immediately starts texting.
While he texts, I'm gonna text Leah and be like, come around back. I have a lead. We're gonna get a drop scheduled with Sepulturero.
I send a bunch of question marks, and then I say, okay. And then I then text Dr. Winters, and I'm like, hey, Coyote says to go around back, wait 2 minutes, or like wait a minute or like a little bit of time after I leave, so it doesn't look like we're all together. And then I pay for my drink. I tip very well because we tip our bartenders in this house. And then I go around back.
And I wait 2 minutes. I leave an irresponsibly large tip
Yes.
because I have doctor money apparently.
Yay!
And
and as you're leaving, the bartender, you hear them kind of like, yes, like they're very excited.
Good.
Sweet. And I meet them around back.
Great.
Okay. Yeah, the kid that Coyote cornered is still there, is still standing there. And he's like nodding his head, and he's still saying a couple of things every once in a while to Coyote in Spanish. It basically amounts to we're going to wait here 10 minutes, and when the right person shows up, I'll show you to their car.
Good boy.
Cool.
Good boy.
You know, Coyote, I really wasn't sure if that was going to work out for you. Glad it did. That was real bold. Really bold, my guy.
Well, after today's events, I figure bold's the way to go from this point forward.
Can't relate, but love that for you. So cool.
That's why Zeitlin hired me.
I can see that. All right. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, of the three of you, in terms of characters, he's definitely he's the one that gets in and out of situations on a regular basis. This is his skill set.
Great. Cool. Love that. So we're just gonna wait here for a little bit, I guess.
Should we make ourselves scarce?
Yeah.
Yeah, you two.
What needs to happened here?
You two go wait in the car just in case we need to
Okay.
accessorize. I'll stand
Sure.
here with the boy.
All right. So like the plan is to like follow you,
No.
and I try to make it very quiet so our poor scared friend is not listening.
Yeah, just keep an eye in case too many people show up other than who's supposed to be here for the drop.
Gotcha. All right.
And I will hand Leah the keys to my Jeep and say, in the trunk is a what is it? XM7 assault carbine, just in case something happens.
Gotcha. All right. And then I guess I'm gonna head to Coyote's car then, and I'm gonna go sit in the. I think I'll probably just like sit in the driver's seat for a little bit. I'm not gonna move the car or anything. Make sure the trunk is unlocked and ready to go if need be.
Okay.
I'm going to head to my car. I am going to throw my Kevlar vest on underneath the shirt I'm wearing so that I look somewhat presentable. And I'm going to just act like I'm sitting there texting.
Great.
Okay. About 10 minutes goes by, and the kid, the lab goes by.
Accurate.
Oh, okay. Gloom Master is on fire today. I'd hope you are accurately counting all the funny things that you say too, so that we can have Safwat Manjanu put them up on TikTok. Make sure you do that. Yeah, about 10 minutes goes by, and the kid gestures, and a quiet, large black Escalade pulls up into the parking lot, and a relatively large man gets out. This guy is probably well over 6 feet tall, closer to like 6'5". Bigger, dark-skinned guy. He looks like a bouncer, or like someone who's gonna take a lot of punches. And he is looks at the kid, and then looks at Coyote, and excuse me, I'm sorry. And he says in English, "I thought there's supposed to be more of you."
The rest of them are taking a break. You Sepultura, or are you just his muscle?
I'm one of his assets, you could say. And I don't appreciate you harassing the kid, but I can understand. He made a bad decision. And the kid just sort of scurries back towards the kitchen.
Oh.
I am at liberty to take you to him.
Excellent.
There are a couple of agreements first, which I'm sure you would understand.
Right.
You cannot bring weapons, and we are blindfolding you, taking you out to our hideout. This is a matter of the utmost security for my boss and the rest of us involved in the organization, especially considering the hit that El Echo has put out on him. I want to make sure that he's safe.
Yeah, that's kind of why we want to see him, because we met another one of your assets today. And then we watched him get torn apart by some kind of spooky demon dog. So, if weapons are your concern with El Echo putting the hit out, I think you might want weapons more than you want to not.
These are my terms. Either you accept them and you come with me, or you don't.
No, I'll come with you. That was more of a fair warning to you for your boss, especially if he hangs around any shadowy corners while we're en route. You want my people to follow, or you want them to come to me?
If they're coming with us this way, or they're not coming at all.
I'm going
and he
to.
brings out a box. There's someone in the passenger seat who hands him a box. It's just a big black lock box. Coyote, you would guess that this is probably like lead lined or something. He wants you to put your whatever weapon you have on you, and he will double check, and your cell phone.
I am going to text Leah, say, give us some distance, then follow. And then I will put the phone in, take my combat knife out of my boot and put that in. Everything else is in the car. So, and then I'll let him give me a pat down.
Yeah, dude totally gives you a pat down. And very thorough by your estimation as well. You are a person who is used to not trafficking, but getting people assets across the border. This is something you do yourself, and you're impressed with how well he's doing.
I respect that.
Great.
He pays well. He pays well for good service.
Yeah.
You texted me to follow at a distance. Great. I am not going to move then.
Okay. Yeah, and he says, "Sir, if you can take off your hat, I have a bag that I want to put over your head." He says it very seriously. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. It was just a weird situation to throw a sentence into.
Yeah.
But yeah. So he asks you to take off your hat, and then he puts a black bag over your head. Coyote, you would also recognize this as pretty standard procedure, especially in your line of work. You have moved assets like this before.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna get exciting. Okay. Yeah.
I want to text Leah and ask, do you know what's going on?
I'll text back. Coyote told me to stay put. I'm assuming he just put his weapons in the thing that they provided. So I'm assuming I'm just bringing the fun. You can step out and go with them if you want. I'm gonna stay here and then try to follow, I guess. Whew. And then I put a little hands together prayer emoji after that. Our lovely viewers, I'm gonna need some helps for this one. Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I'm gonna walk over to the car that Leah's in,
Okay.
and act like we're just nonchalantly chatting and flirting.
Incredible.
I'm being
Great.
distracting.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Love that.
The second they put the blindfold on Coyote, they move him into the car. They shut the car, and then you see the guy that was talking to Coyote. He's going to look around for a minute, and he's trying to. I mean, Leah, you would know this. He's trying to clock if anybody else is looking at him, watching him, etc. No, I'm not going to have you roll for this yet because you're about to have a real tough time anyway. So, yeah,
Yes,
for
I am.
now, he's not observing you outright.
Great. Cool. Love that. Oh baby. Oh no.
He gets into the car. He gets into the driver's side in particular, and he starts driving.
Great. I would like to give him. I want to make sure I'm really paying attention to what this car looks like. And focusing as much as I can. I am going to turn to Dr. Winters, get in the car. Just get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. And I'm going to give them probably like a 3-minute head start. But those 3 minutes that feel like a zillion years. And then I'm going to start trying to follow.
Ooh, okay. So for this one, you have a drive skill.
Okay.
That's a little bit more like, if you had to dodge traffic or you were doing aggressive driving.
Yeah.
I might have you roll that, or you could try law. That could potentially work. They're both at the same percentage.
Okay.
That would be in relation to, you've done pursuits before.
Okay.
If there are any other skills that you think would work really, really well for this, you could also roll a search.
Okay.
Dr. Winters, you could even also roll a search, although Leah is the one driving. She's actively driving the car. If you happen to roll a search, or if you have any suggestions as to what you think you might roll to be able to track the car, you're welcome to do so. It is a nondescript, large, black SUV. It's like an Escalade. It's a big, thick Escalade. You may have tracked the license plate, but other than that, it's going to look a lot like a lot of other cars out here.
Okay. I think I would like to do law.
Okay.
Because I assume I've done stakeouts before in this kind of way. But because it's just me doing this, it's going to be even more difficult.
Yes.
Usually a couple of vehicles are doing that. I would like to use all of the helps I have, if that's permitted.
Okay.
I don't know how many that is right now.
Glue Master,
but-
can we get the count up to see how many she actually has?
My butthole is clenched. Anyway, I'm so afraid.
There we are. Dr. Winters, is there anything that you might like to try? You're not necessarily rolling an assist. You're rolling like a separate skill, but if Leah fails, you can potentially pick up the trail.
I don't know that I have anything that's really going to help right now.
Yeah. I mean, standard search could potentially work. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's really good on you that you might be able to use. Cursor is being stupid. Go.
This is
Yeah,
not
you don't
so
have a
much-
lot of criminal skills, unfortunately.
Yep. I am outside
Um,
my wheelhouse on this and just trusting the process.
Yeah. You could potentially roll search. You don't have a horrible search. You've got 40%. So if you want to use that and use some helps, you are welcome to do so.
All right, I'm just going to do a search.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
I rolled a 55, so I am just a passenger.
I rolled a 37, even without my helps, and if I'm doing law, that is a success.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Ooh, baby.
Yeah. All right. So you are able to track the car. You know, kind of based on you are at first, for the first 3 minutes, you are just like, okay. Local cartels are going to be probably based outside of the city. You're going to look for a highway to get onto to start tracking outside of the city. That's probably your best bet. And you know from dealing with cartels like this before, chances are early on, they would have taken a lot of weird turns to begin with so that they can see if you're being marked.
Okay.
So your best bet, you think, is just to head straight to the highway. I'm trying to see what highway that is, just in case anybody wants to follow along at home. 62 looks great. Ooh, there's a Gringo Theory patio bar. How interesting.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, so you are able to. Sorry, I don't have a map for this one. Feel free to throw your own in there, Glue Master, if you want to. You are able to get onto Highway 62, kind of around the on-ramp where you would have expected them to show up.
Okay.
And funny enough, the car that you are looking for, you're able to clock it behind you in about 5 minutes. So you pick the right highway and you are able to, it's straight behind you. Now you've got the issue of being able to figure out exactly where they're going to go and whether or not you're going to be able to navigate traffic correctly. So now I would like you to roll me a drive skill to see if you can drop behind them subtly without doing anything weird.
That is a 43, which is a success.
Nice. Okay. So as you are driving in the process of going around, you eventually pick up a all the way in the left lane for no apparent reason. There is somebody going real slow. So you just sort of casually go into that lane as if you're about to get off on a particular exit and end up behind them. And slowly the other car, the car that you are trying to pursue, actually overtakes you and goes past. You clock them right away that they are the same people, and you are able to.
Yeah.
Florida. You are able to without really drawing attention to yourself. You're able to see them pass you.
Great.
And now you have the license plate and you're able to certainly follow that without issue.
Great.
I would like for you to do one more skill. I would let you potentially do law again,
Okay.
or you can attempt drive. And this is to follow the car as they go off the ramp and start heading out into the desert. This is not necessarily something you're going to find on a map. It is you're starting to get back into those Texas dirt roads that you guys approached before. It's not the same place that you were before where the car was, where the house was.
Yeah. Okay.
Different area,
Okay.
but very similar looking. And it's going to become much more difficult for you to hide yourself.
Okay. So the kind of geography that's happening right now is just dirt road, nothing as far as the eye can see kind of thing.
You are still on some surface roads, but
Okay.
you can tell any turn off would be that. It would be a dirt road. It's going to kick up a lot of dust. It would be very obvious if you started following them. And a lot of these places look not residential, they look like ranches.
Okay.
So it's a big open swath of land that will lead to hopefully a house at the end of it.
All right. I think I will again try to do law.
Okay.
Okay. That is a 7, which is a success.
Woo!
Nice.
Dr. Winters, if you want to roll me one more search roll while Leah is driving, I will give you the option of trying to pull up the map of where you are and what locations might be the space that they're about to head to.
I got an 87.
Yay!
Oh, nope.
No, yeah, you are slowly starting to lose reception on your phone. That's not unsurprising out here. So you have some basic ideas of where things could be, but none of this is neighborhoods. There are a couple of big ranches out in this area. But other than that, it's not labeled. And Leah, you are able to follow the car until it turns onto the right, off onto a dirt road, and you drive right past it.
Okay. That's fine.
And then there is a closed gas station that is further down the road that you are able to basically
Great.
camp out in temporarily.
Okay, cool.
You would know based on your FBI skills and the fact that you were rolling law before, if you directly pursued him right now, it would be bad.
That seems right.
You can potentially try to approach on foot, but you have no idea how far they're going. Or you can, you could try texting him, but his phone is in a box.
Yeah.
What helps? Yes.
What? Okay, so from the gas station, is there like, can I see anything? Like, as far as like where they're going, like what's the visibility like?
It's dark. It's past like 9 p.m.
Okay.
So it's dark out. You can see their taillights as you
Okay.
go. And eventually it looks like they pass some kind of gate. So you lose the taillights for a second, but then they pick back up again.
Okay.
And then after a point, it looks like they vanish. Not like, ooh, scary, but more like
Yeah.
it probably pulled behind a building.
Okay, great. How far does that look? Is it like my gut is saying I probably am going to want to follow on foot with the weapons that with the specific weapon that Coyote pointed out earlier.
Okay.
And whatever other tactical gear I could pull out of his car.
I can give you a list.
I got a list, don't worry.
He does have a list. I mean, I can look at that list too. You are
Great.
welcome to mess with
Amazing.
things.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm going to leave you there for the time being.
great.
Let me follow up with Coyote here for a second. Coyote, yeah, you experience similar to what I was describing before. You've been in this car. It's very comfortable. They have the air conditioning on. They are not talking to you. They are completely quiet. There is some simple Tejano music playing in the background, just chill, the kind of stuff that you might hear at a Mexican restaurant sort of situation, very traditional. And in your experience, they're making a lot of turns. That's exactly what you would do. They're making a lot of turns early on to disorient you. You're able to track for a while, but then you know this area. If you would like, you can try to roll a skill to see if you know exactly where you are. I'm not sure what skill that might be. Not demolitions. You have a 5. It's not great.
Would that be navigate, maybe? Or
yeah, you know what? You can roll a navigate. You have a 50%, and you have a.
That's a 28.
Okay. Yeah, based on your own experience and what you've been doing, you are relatively easily able to figure out, like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not on 54 because that goes north. I'm not on 10, that goes south. We're heading east. So that's probably 62 because now, it steadies out after a while. So you may have missed a couple of the turns left and right early on, but you're like, okay, this is probably 62. I'm heading out 62. So I have a vague idea of where I'm heading. Eventually they come off on a street. You can feel that it's still a good street. Listening through the car, you can, it's quiet. So you're not in the city anymore. You're in some kind of suburb probably. And then once it turns off to the right and you hear that crunch of the gravel and the dirt, like, okay, they're taking me to some kind of probably ranch, safe house type situation. It's not something that you haven't encountered before. Mm-hmm. As comfortable as you can be, you have a good amount of skill in this arena. Is there anything else that you want to try to learn, try to know, anything else that you want to try before the car will eventually stop and then they'll try to get you out?
No, I'm going to be a nice and pleasant passenger so that we don't have any reason to be seen as distrustful or aggressive or anything when we get pulled out. Because that way, then they are less likely to do anything that requires me to have to panic. So,
yeah. Yeah. So eventually the car stops. You are brought out. You were never handcuffed or anything. Your hands were available to you at any moment, but you were blindfolded.
Okay.
So they at least gave you that courtesy.
Yeah.
The door opens and you hear the voice of the gentleman who was speaking with you earlier, and he says, "Come with me. I'll take you where you need to go."
Thank you.
And he pulls you sort of out of the car, not rough, and then puts his hand on your shoulder. His hand is massive, like just big bear paw kind of situation.
Not fighting this man.
And he takes you on a walk. You hear a door slide open. Sounds pretty large. And then it slides shut as well. And then you are put down in a chair. Not entirely uncomfortable. It's a folding chair. And your blindfold is removed. And sitting in front of you is a middle-aged man. He looks strained. Medium toned skin, dark black hair. It probably, when he's not in such distress, it's probably very nice. Like he's got a nice, like his head isn't shaved or anything. It looks sort of like you would put grease in it and make it look pretty. He also has, you notice almost immediately, he has a tissue up to his nose, and he has some of those same marks on his skin. He says, I heard you were looking for me. You can
That
call me
would be
something.
correct, sir. I'm just gonna take a wild hunch here and say that you've been taking Echo.
I haven't actually. Um, I've just been dealing with the man who's controlling it so much. I think it's starting to have an effect on me.
Yeah, considering that, well, as a professional, I'm going to get straight to the point. I have found no less than a handful of bodies that all look like your competitor. All of them are radioactive, all of them are dead, and yet you still seem to have a competitor. We met one of your people earlier, uh, user friendly. I believe he was tagged as, who also seemed to be taking it. Looked around about your condition before some kind of demon dog ate him.
Yeah.
So, what do we
Fred's had
need to
his
know?
own issues. Yeah. Well, here's what I can tell you. Um, I have a really good idea of where Echo's base is. Um, don't know the exact location, but I think I have a really good idea, and maybe somebody with your resources would be able to pinpoint it a little bit better. I think that we have a mutual problem,
Oh, I
and
would
I'd really
agree.
like to see it on. So, if you have any great ideas about how to stop this guy from coming back, I'd certainly appreciate it. What happened to Fred? Um, friendly.
Uh, some kind of shadow demon dog kind of thing literally came out of the dark and ate him. And I wouldn't have believed it except for the fact that I watched it along with two of my coworkers. Just came out of the dark, gobbled them up, left a nice smear for the feds to have to figure out what to deal with, and disappeared back in the dark. So if I were you, I would hang out in only bright rooms, like no shadows.
Knew something was going to get that guy eventually. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that kind of tracks. I've heard rumors about something like that, um, especially involving Echo himself. Sometimes, sometimes when he takes the drug, apparently it summons a creature, and he feeds some people to it. Um, sometimes it's been my men, people that he's captured. Sometimes they just die. Um, I haven't been there when that happens. He caught me once, and I was able to get out, but I don't think I can do it alone. I'm interested in offering you a mutual partnership. We can go in together, take care of this guy once and for all. I don't know quite how to do that, but maybe somebody with your expertise might be able to figure this out.
With all due respect, sir, based off of your condition, you might want to see medical professionals about that radiation sickness. I don't know, as much as I appreciate your offer, I don't know how effective you're going to be in the field. Uh, you're a big fella back here, though. If you got any more like him, I can use him and a couple of my associates. If you know where to find this guy, yeah, we can see about putting him down. But I don't, given just an overall glance at you right now, I feel like you getting anywhere near this guy is probably not a great idea for you.
Okay. I see.
I mean, as a honorable warrior. I'm don't want to step on your pride or anything. I just looking at you, you look like you're about 2 seconds from falling over.
Yeah, I haven't felt real great. It's so funny. It's easy for me to smuggle anything across the border except an IV. I can't even get morphine anymore. It's ridiculous. Um,
I do have a friend that's a doctor that might be able to help with that.
you do.
I do indeed.
All right. And he turns around behind him, and that's where big, beefy Dwayne Johnson guy is standing. And he says a couple of things in Spanish, which is basically just give him his cell phone, see what he can do. And he leans over on the table and he says, okay, you can hook me up with some good drugs, the real kind that help you. Then I can hook you up with people and we'll take them out. Sound good?
Sounds like a fantastic hunt to me. You
And we'll
got
end
me.
it there. Yay!
Ah!
Making deals with drug dealers. I love this game. This is great.
Maria's gonna lose her job.
That's the
Hey,
fun part.
to be fair, you have plausible deniability. You didn't make the deal.
This is true.
Very exciting. Yeah, so that was fun. Great. Thank you. Yeah, we will be able to conclude this next week, which I'm very excited about. Yay. But in the meantime, we should check in with all of our players. And why don't you guys tell us what you really do as a human being? And maybe people can catch you in the real world and stuff before total party kill. Leah Anderson, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Great. Hi, my name is Maddie. I'm a professional fool. I am Boo Boo the Fool. You can see me with Chase Treasure at the Colorado Renaissance Festival running until August 6th. I have a lot of fun and I make a lot of really dumb jokes, and you should come see them in person.
I can't believe that you guys jump up and down at a 7,000 foot elevation, because I've seen videos of you guys just pogoing around the stage, and I don't know how you do that.
We get real into it, okay? It's very fun.
Great. I'm thrilled.
You know, when it's not direct sunlight baking our brains in our ears, we're having a great time.
Wonderful. Yeah, feel free to check us out at Colorado and other places soon. Why don't we have Coyote Jones tell us about yourself and what you're up to?
I am Vince Smith. I am one of the co-owners of Crowcat Studios. We paint miniatures and do terrain for D&D and other tabletop games. Also, co-owner of Swords and Stories. We just wrapped up a fundraiser for Rescue. Raised over $600. I got to do the final counts this week, but I know we're at least over 600. So that's pretty awesome. And probably a lot of that's thanks to all you wonderful people. So, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of our viewers, I think, are also people who have contributed
They
or
are
have
indeed.
contributed to Rescue in the past. So thank you. Yay. And Dr. Winters, why don't you tell us everything that you're doing? Because you're usually real busy.
I am. I am Mitch Gamble Ernst. I am also known as Jade DeVere, and I have a fantastic show coming up on Friday called Divas Down Under. We are doing our Back to the 80s drag show with Alize LaDiamond, Anita Dixon, Poison, Sybil, myself, Amethyst Diamond, and an incredible king named Peter Pansy. That is at 10:30 at night this Friday at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. Just wrapped up the New Jersey Renaissance Fair, and starting sometime in the next couple weeks, I start rehearsal for the Mud Skippers, where I get to return as Squishy this year, which is going to be exciting.
Yay. That's so good. Yeah. My name is Melissa, Mel. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we do. I guess I'll do the promo for our stuff first. Dare is a great thing that we have. It's a book. You can feel free to check that out online. Where's the promo thingy? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Nightbot. Yes, get your copy of Dare today, available as a paperback or Kindle/audiobook. You can find it on Amazon. We're really, really proud of that work. I have enough for another book, but there's other things going on. and I think this is in the banners, honey. I have a baby registry because we are officially in the third trimester as of now. I could stand up and show everybody. It's like real big now.
Yeah.
It's freaky. Wait. Okay.
Baby.
Show the baby.
Baby bat. It's the baby bat.
Yeah. It's so round. I'm like a basketball. It's weird. My feet just started swelling like crazy. I need to borrow someone else's shoes for my show because now I have to do a different size. It's getting intense. Yeah, we do have a registry on Target, so feel free to check that out. Target gift registry /the baby Z. Feel free to check that out online. We also have a Patreon as well, so if you'd like to just back us up that way, I have every intention of putting a whole bunch of stuff up there. I'm sorry, I've been traveling across the country and doctor's appointments and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, patreon.com/quill and quote. If you would like to support me and my burgeoning family, you can feel free to do so. Our intention is to put out scary, spooky, fun stories. Sometimes they are dark romance. And then our Gloom Master in the background also reads them on occasion. Bat! Yay! It's so funny because Gloom Master has been reading Spanish and learning Spanish off world. No, he's been learning Spanish. So Vivi, you need to come over and like talk to him at some point. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. I would like to once again thank all of the supporters of the channel, especially 3D2U, who are he flies. Just ground control to Major Tom.
It works.
Yeah, so shout outs to our friends at 3d2u.org. They are at a couple of cool Jersey venues coming up soon. Special shout out to Amy from 3d2u.org, who told me all about radiation sickness and whether or not you could find it on if radiation came up with what is it called? Luminol. Yeah, I had to look into luminol. That was a whole thing that happened a couple of times ago. So yeah, thank you, 3d2u.org. Check out their cool stuff. Also, a big thanks to Red Adventures, of course. They are on their way right now to Scotland to do their D&D tour of castles, which is really neat. But you can also check out their D&D tour in New Orleans from December 5th through 9th, which I believe includes the admission to the festival in Louisiana. I don't think it includes like hotels per se, but it has a bunch of stuff you can definitely check out. I also want to take a moment to thank Delta Green itself. Delta Green is a role-playing game. See, now you can do all kinds of fun things. Delta Green is a role-playing game that includes the wonderful thing that you see here, which I think translates from Latin to science is death, or death and science. Bunch of stuff. But yeah, this game is called Death is No Parenthesis, and it was written by William Sharr, or the user William Sharr. And you can find this entire adventure on fairfieldproject.fandom.com/Death is No Parenthesis. Feel free to check it out. You can run it for your friends too. It's a really awesome game with a lot of great sources, including our dear friend, the Creepy Dog, which does have an official name. Some of you who have been on the channel may have dealt with this before. So feel free, if you want to ping us on our Discord, if you want to try to throw things at me on Discord. I know what it is, and some of you may also. Anyway, death is science. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you have a really great night, and we will conclude this next week. I promise it's going to happen. I don't have any reason not to. So we're finally able to do this. This has been great. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you soon. Oh yeah, join Patreon Saints if you feel like it. They're really cool. Bye.